Hey guys, welcome to 40 Minutes of Nonsense. I am your host, Grim. Today, I am joined by my wonderful co host. You guys have yet to meet her. I've already done a solo episode of 40 Minutes of Nonsense where I mentioned my wonderful co host. Uh, Sadly, she was not with me at that moment. Uh, but she's here now, so everyone, welcome December Star. Hi, December.
Hello. Sorry, I didn't
So,
mean to cut you off.
no, you're fine, you're fine. But we were having a laugh earlier about how this feels right now. Kind of about like, do you remember being a kid in school? The first day of school, teachers like, oh, everybody stand up when I call your name or whatever, and introduce yourself, and you have to come up with something stupid on the fly, and it's just like,
Yeah.
then you end up, in my case, I was born in Texas and went to high school up in Colorado, and everyone I told told them I was from Texas. They'd be like, "Oh my God, do you ride a horse to school?" And I'd be like, "No, but apparently you guys do," because I kid you not, I've seen more people ride horses openly in Colorado than I
Mhm.
ever did here in Texas.
That's fucking crazy.
It's weird, but what about you?
Me?
Where's your journey been?
Well, I've basically I've been in Virginia. Well, that was when I was younger. I don't really remember a whole lot in Virginia, but then I was in Tennessee. That's where I kind of had my kid years and then half my teens, and then we moved to Texas, probably in my teens still, and then now I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pretty much all roads lead to Texas is what I'm
Yeah, all road leads to
hearing.
Texas,
All
yeah.
roads lead to Texas. Well, uh, speaking of the whole school experience and all this weirdness, I know last episode I talked about some of my school stories. We wanted to hear some of your school stories. I already told everybody about how I lit my friend on fire. So
Well, I say I haven't done that.
you
Um,
had a much, like, I will say you had a much more, I don't want to necessarily say sheltered, I mean in a way kind of sheltered
mhm.
past, but I feel like, I don't know, our parents were not necessarily fast and loose because like my dad was very big on safety.
Yeah.
um but my mom for the most part let us just kind of do whatever, not necessarily whatever, but she knew that we knew what the limits were. She trusted us
Kids
as,
being kids.
yeah, she trusted that we wouldn't do anything to actively cause harm.
Right, right.
So I think my mother kind of had a little bit of faith in my sister and I and in my cousins and I. So
Hey, there you go.
if we got hit in the head, at least it wouldn't rattle anything that was vital.
Yeah, there you go. Like my dad says, no, what is it? No brain or no helmet, whatever.
No brain, no brain, no pain.
Yes, that one.
There you go.
Life sucks. Get a helmet. That's another
Life
one.
sucks. Get a helmet. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard that one.
Well, back on the topic of
But yeah,
school
school stories.
stories.
Anything fun? You said you had a school story that I haven't heard. So
Oh yeah, so there's actually a lot. So, I guess I'll start with elementary school. So I don't know if I told you this, Grim, but um, back in elementary school, I had this one friend that we would play Magic, not Magic School Bus. What is it called? Magic Treehouse together.
oh, like the books?
Yes, we would make up like our own little thing
I
to
remember.
do,
I remember Magic Treehouse. That was cool.
and we had this tree that we'd always sit by and just either read or play the Magic Treehouse. But
How does one play the Magic Treehouse? I'm
so the
curious.
tree was basically like our treehouse. I don't remember a whole lot of it. It was basically just our little treehouse, and we just kind of had imagination go wild.
See, this is funny that trees were a big part of both of our childhood, but I had a very different type of tree.
Did I tell you about the tree incident where someone stuck my hand in a hole and they didn't know what the hole was for?
You've told me about this personally, but I feel like the listeners would love to hear
Oh, goodness.
this.
So,
It's
this is
actually
gonna
pretty
be
funny.
a fun story. It's funny, yes, but at the time
I'd imagine
very
at the time being a child,
it was very
it's
scarring, and
horrifying.
my parents were very, very upset about this. But I can laugh about it now. So, a whole bunch of popular kids, popular than me. I wasn't that popular actually.
I was gonna say you and I we were on different ends of the spectrum in terms of popularity. You had a marginal. You were at least more popular than I would have been.
Right. But I'm talking like popular kids, like,
Yeah.
and they
When
called
you're a
me
kid,
over.
everything is all about ranks and shit for some reason.
Yeah,
It's
it's
so stupid.
weird. Anyway, so these popular kids came to a hole and called me over. They were like, "Hey, December, why don't you come over here? We got something to show you." And I was like, "Okay." Knowing me, naive kid, friends, popular kids say, "Hey, come over here. We're gonna show you something." You know?
Yeah, well, when you're a kid, it's more of just like, oh, you're another. You are a fellow peer. I have no idea that
There you go.
you would mean harm to me. You know,
Yeah. So
that thought would never cross your mind as a child, because as a child, you're like, oh, everybody's a potential friend.
yeah, yeah. So I walk over to these kids, and there's a big hole in the ground next to a tree. And then they're like, "Oh, we can't fit our hands in there. You have small hands. Why don't you do it?" And I was like, "Okay." So I started sticking my hand down this hole, but one of the kids takes my hand and just shoves it down the hole, and like, "Do you feel anything? Do you feel anything?" And I'm like, "No," but I'm terrified. So you hear my terrifying voice, like, "No, no, I don't." And I was like, crazy. It was,
Were they like holding you?
yeah, they were holding my hand.
Like, well, I mean, like, were
Like,
they holding you down like you
no,
couldn't
no, no,
move?
no, no, no. It was basically she was just holding my hand. Like
Okay.
she
Yeah,
grabbed
I guess yeah,
my
as a
wrist,
child like that's pretty paralyzing, but
and
in my
then
mind I'm like if they're not physically holding you down just
it just it
but
was one of those things where it was like they're holding me down and
but
I
I
can't
also imagine
move.
you're like how old? Like how old are you at that time?
Probably in my single digits still.
Like you were maybe at most 8?
Yeah,
Yeah, so okay, that's understandable.
scarring.
That's pretty freaking scary.
Yeah. Um, there's a high school story that I kind of want to tell you that's very stupid.
Go for it. I love stupid high school stories.
So my one of my friends and I did a Hitalia cosplay, and
Which we can show a
right, right, right,
image
right.
of what Italia is for anyone that's not a so anyone within the anime circle will most likely have heard of Italia, but
Yeah. So they were doing a Italy one, and I was doing a Civitalia.
it's
Um.
basically World War II anime, but each of the nations is personified.
Oh, you're
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm sorry, I was just
explaining.
getting around to that. I was like, oh, that would probably be good information for people to know. But yeah, Italia is just
Basically history.
yeah,
There's Italy, Germany.
and they have pretty interesting takes on like, oh man, I guess when you boil it down, it kind of is like that. A lot of those instances.
Yeah. But anyway, so one of my friends was being Italy, one of my friends, or I was being Civitalia, and um, we were walking down the hallway, and we had this little poster thing on the wall, and she goes, "Why don't you just run into that wall?" And I was like, "Why? I'm not gonna run into it." So, um, I accidentally run into a pole instead because we have these poles in the hallway,
Yeah.
and I wasn't looking. I was looking at my friend to the my right, and yeah, I ran into a pole, and she goes, "That works," and I was like, "You know what? No." And then another story about me hating stuff. So I was being funny one day, and I kind of just went, you know those Halloween witch things where they kind of like look like they're on the wall, they're kind of like stuck
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
We'll show a picture of what I'm talking about. That's basically what I did on the wall, but I fell and hit my back, and I was kind of just like,
You did like a full on like splat.
oh yeah,
You went splat.
I went splat. I was being silly that day, and I just felt silly. My friends were laughing. Our friend laughed at me. It was funny.
Well, while and on the topic of like school, what was your favorite subject in school?
My favorite subject?
Yeah, or favorite class to look forward to?
That would probably be. I did like math, but it was kind of hard for me, but I still liked math.
Yeah.
And then another class that I always look forward to, probably choir. I loved choir. It made my mood feel a lot better.
Same. Well, I didn't take choir. I took band.
There you go.
Um,
Band, same thing,
yeah,
just different instrument.
yeah. See, I was a English and history nerd.
Of course.
Uh, but when I was in middle school, I played a little bit of trumpet for a little bit. I played trombone for a little while. Then they realized that my tone fit neither of those, uh, and they tried to move me to baritone, which baritone worked for a little while. Um, but of course, this being middle school and puberty's a thing,
Yeah.
I eventually got moved to tuba.
Tuba.
I was tuba kid, and it didn't help that I was a fat kid.
Do do
So,
do do
do
do
do
do
do
do.
do
That's all I can think
do.
of.
Put that gif of the Family Guy episode. You know the one I'm talking about? Stewie's got the tuba follower, the fat guy.
Yeah. If I can find it, yeah.
But on the topic of like music, we also for those that may not have caught on, Star is my girlfriend.
Yes.
uh, so we were talking a while back about how different we were a exposed to music,
Hmm.
and b the types of music that we were exposed to. Now there were some crossover, so like we both know Journey, we both know Bon Jovi and stuff like
Green
that,
Day.
Green Day, and it was actually kind of funny. Um, you realized a little bit later in life that some of the some of the music you listened to was emo. So you guys, it's funny because there were those of us that listened to emo music and we were sad. We were legit sad kids, and we listened to emo music and it made us feel better because we could relate to the stories, and it was a big thing. And you're over there,
I,
you're listening to Pain by 3 Days Grace and just having a wonderful happy time.
it was not that I was like having a happy time. It was more like I did feel the emotion about it, but it was kind of like that upbeat thing where you could just dance to and kind of sing along, but you know the lyrics to it.
There's a song by Outkast called Hey Ya that's about this very thing, just so you know. If you know the lyrics to Outkast, you know what I'm talking about. Um,
Oh goodness. But
so yeah,
yeah,
that kind of is the case where it's just like you blocked out all the negative
I did block out all the negative.
and you just kind of retained like I like the way this sounds.
Mhm.
I
That
I guess everyone absorbs. That's why I love music so much. Music is absorbed so differently by everybody.
yeah.
So, and I'm working on a series about music history and stuff. So, if you guys want to go check that out, self plug.
Sponsored.
Sponsored by Raid Shadow. No, we're not there yet. Although we could be. Hint, hint. Uh,
I'd rather be sponsored by Genshin.
I was gonna say actually, I'd rather be sponsored by Genshin, and we'll pedal back to music probably at a later time. Let's go ahead and talk about video games now that
Since
you
we're
bring it.
on the
Since you brought
yeah.
up Genshin Impact,
Oh
um,
goodness.
another thing that's so vastly different about us was I grew up with Sega,
Mhm.
PlayStation, and Xbox. You, on the other hand, had what?
I had Nintendo. Basically all the Nintendo. There's the Super Nintendo, the N64, GameCube. I've also had the DSs, all the DSs at one point.
Y'all basically had everything short of like the Nintendo like VR thing, that like
Yeah.
red VR thing, you know what
Mhm.
I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all basically have everything short of that.
Mhm.
Um,
And the light, and then the Wii U. We don't have the Wii U.
oh yeah.
That's the one thing we don't have, which I really
Why
don't
would
care.
anyone get the Wii U?
I don't know.
I didn't understand that back in the day. I thought it was an add-on for the Wii. It basically should have been.
Kind of, because I think there's a feature. Don't quote me on this, but I think there's a feature
I'm
where,
quoting you on it.
oh well,
Yeah.
um, where was I? Shiitake
The
mushrooms.
Wii
The
U.
Wii U. So there's a feature on the Wii U that if you're playing a game and you get kicked off of the TV that you're playing on, you can play it on your Wii U instead of the Wii itself.
Okay, well that's kind of cool.
I think that's a feature. Not sure.
If that's the case, then that's all right. I mean,
Because if you get kicked off the TV and you want to play your Switch, or not your Switch, your
your Wii U.
Wii, you can play it on the Wii U.
I guess that's not bad,
Yeah.
but I'm glad that the Switch exists because
Yeah, me
because
too.
that just seems like they took that concept and just made it infinitely better.
Yeah.
That I will say, Nintendo is very good at like innovating and thinking differently.
Yes.
So at the very least, you guys get a lot of fun stuff to play with. Because that's not to rag on my console buddies, of course. You know, we had plenty of fun stuff too. Like we had the Nintendo Eye. It was like the camera thingy.
Oh yeah.
Um, which I think still exists. I think they still use it for like VR and stuff.
I don't know.
Which we have VR now. PlayStation has VR.
Needed to get a
So,
VR.
which I definitely would. I would love to get a VR.
That would be so cool. Maybe that can be an episode.
There we go.
Do a whole thing.
a whole bunch of VR games. That'd
Yeah.
be kind of fun. But yeah, like my introduction to gaming though was oddly very young because it started with I have this faint memory of like laying down in a room and it was dark and all I hear is like something, so the chiming of something, and I open my eyes and I see like blue light coming into my room and I can hear the music and it was Sonic the Hedgehog. My mom and my aunt were playing Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's hilarious.
And my mom is really good at Sonic the Hedgehog. Like if you get her in the zone, like she will start going, and
I think I've seen her do that.
she'll
Yeah.
collect all the rings, and you're like, how did you even know those were there? It's such a weird thing seeing my mom go into certain modes because she's really good at Sonic, and she's really good at Miss Pac-Man, and
I believe it.
it's so weird. And I feel like my entire family is this way, where they will pick a game, and for some reason they are weirdly good at that game. So my mom is weirdly good at Sonic the Hedgehog, the original Sega version, and she's good at the arcade version of Miss Pac-Man.
Mhm.
Um, my dad was always very good at Halo. Oh my gosh, like I wish that he would have like done something with Halo because he was better than I was.
I
You know,
believe it.
he introduced me to Halo, so
Yeah.
uh, he took every chance he could to put me in my place.
Well,
It's
that's what parents do.
it's healthy. It's healthy.
Yeah.
You know. Everyone always talks about like, oh, I grew up and eventually I fought my dad. I'm like, nah, my dad whooped my butt. Halo. That's how he said, "Pipe down, young one."
Yeah, exactly.
But the few games that I'm weirdly good at would probably be Soul Calibur. I am weirdly good at Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur, really?
Yeah, well, Soul Calibur 2. I used to play
Oh,
Soul Calibur 2 in the arcade. They had an arcade version of it. Um, and I used to play people, and people would stack up quarters to fight me at Soul Calibur 2.
that's
Yeah, it
hilarious.
was fun. It was real fun. I wish I could have, like, again, I wish I could have done something with it, but I never really got the chance for it. Um, Aside from that, I mean, I don't know if there's a lot of games that I'm weirdly good at.
Games that I'm really good at, I guess Zelda Ocarina of Time.
You do like the Zelda games a lot.
I do like the Zelda games a lot. I think that would probably be the one that.
Which I guess, because again, running the whole gambit, now that we're talking about this, running the whole gambit, let's start with your top five games.
Oh, okay. Top.
Everyone's got like, I feel like everyone talks about like top five, top tens, and whatever. You can go as fast as slow as you want with this. So
Alright.
let's say this: if you want to lump franchises into one choice, you can absolutely do that.
Okay.
And of course, these are going to be in no particular order.
No, not any particular order. Um, I would probably say for my number one, probably Zelda. I do love my Zelda.
Zelda.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Um,
What's your favorite game?
yeah. I could play any Zelda and then just
If you
beat
had,
it.
if you absolutely like gun to your head had to
Yep.
pick one Zelda
Oh,
game, which one Zelda game?
probably Ocarina. That's always been my go-to.
Okay, yeah.
Ocarina.
Ocarina is widely accepted basically as like the good one, isn't it?
Kind of, sorta. I think there's a lot of good ones out there. Um, because I do like Majora's Mask. I do like
Which of the
which
Legend of Zeldas, I think the only ones I've played have been Majora's Mask and Wind Waker.
really?
Those are the only two I've played.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, Wind Waker.
and even Wind Waker, I only got like I got to the fish people.
My dad's beaten, not fully, but he has beaten Wind Waker.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah,
Wait, what do you mean not fully?
because he didn't get like I don't think he got all the cart containers. I don't think he got like all the
Oh,
items. Because there's like certain items you can get that's like,
like you mean to say like he didn't do like a completionist
yes, a
run?
completionist run. That's what it's called.
Okay, got you, got you. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Hey, but you know what? At least he beat it.
Yeah,
I didn't. I didn't beat it. I mean, granted, it was because they were my cousin's games.
yeah.
So, and I would only ever get to play any of the Zelda games either with my cousins or over at a friend's house. I had a friend that had Nintendo games. Uh, I wouldn't play a lot of them because I don't know. Nintendo controls after a while hurt my head, and I think it's because I have Xbox and PlayStation on my brain, and my brain just refuses. It's like rejecting Nintendo. So I'll get a headache after playing
See,
Nintendo for a while.
I don't get that headache like you do, but I see what you mean. It gets confusing after a while because I'll play my Switch games and then I'll go to Xbox or PlayStation and then I'll click like A, but that's like circle, which means enter or like exit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, no, I didn't need to do that. I meant to click B, which is exit or like whatever it is. And I'm like, ugh, because you got that on your mind.
I feel that though. So okay. So for the
So,
most part, so
number
Zelda
one,
as number one.
number
Okay.
one. And then probably Halo, because I did like Halo when we played Halo.
Which yes, I introduced you to Halo.
Yes, there's a
Um,
lot of games you introduced me to.
I did. I did. The power of consoles is amazing, especially non-Nintendo ones.
You know, you don't have to crap on it.
I don't mean to crap on it. I played Mario. I liked Super Mario.
Mario's okay. I wasn't really big on it.
I liked Super Mario Bros. Because it was my sister and I had Game Boy Colors, and I had at the time I had it was like Power Rangers SPD, I think,
Mm.
and it was a like looking back at it, the game looked terrible. I
Oh.
found like some footage that somebody recorded of it, and the game just looks so bad. It just looks terrible. But back then it was amazing and I loved the game. Um, but my sister had Super Mario Bros.
Mhm.
Eventually we both got Pokemon. My sister got Pokemon Yellow and I got Pokemon Blue. But yeah, for the most part, my Nintendo experience is very limited.
Yeah.
So lucky you.
Nintendo's not for everybody, we'll say.
But I'm happy to have been able to grace you with the wonderful
Wonderful. Halo.
franchise that is Halo.
Yes.
And of course, got to say it, gun to your head, one of the Halo games that I've introduced to you, because we've played through basically everything except for Halo 5 and Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
And I'm not even gonna touch Halo Wars because uh, those games take too long for me.
Yeah. So, are you talking about like what's my favorite one so far?
Of the ones that we've played, yeah.
Of the ones we played? Probably Reach or 2. Halo 2.
See,
Reach or Halo 2.
yeah, that's fair. Halo 2 is obviously
Depending on
the.
my mood, what I feel like.
See, the right answer is Halo 2, though.
You know what? I at least got in the middle with you.
That's fair.
I picked 2.
But Halo Reach is awesome though, because I mean, the ending of Halo Reach is easily the best ending to a Halo game, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
There was also that one dude that literally threw me a gun. I forget what he was.
which one?
The real chunky one.
Oh, wait, are you talking about the one that sacrificed himself?
Yes.
George.
Yes, he threw me a gun, and at the time I didn't know that
Which,
he was
rest in
going.
peace, George. He died a hero. Post up a picture of our hero.
I will. But no, he just. I was running out of ammo, and I guess he was like. I don't know exactly what he said, but he like threw me a gun, and I was like, "Oh, cool!" And then all of a sudden, I was like, "Oh, he died!" I
Because
was bursting into
almost
tears.
immediately after, because I didn't know this, but I guess if you are running low or something like that, sometimes he'll help.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's a thing or if that was like something unique that happened,
I don't know, but that was like that made
or
me
maybe it was a
cry.
coincidence. I don't know,
It made
but
me cry.
but
I
it was very
was,
sad that you got ammo right as he said that, and then immediately after it cut to him having to sacrifice himself.
yeah, I was so sad.
That was incredibly sad.
But anyway, back to the list. So that
But yes,
was
we'll continue.
Halo was 2. Um, so for my third one, probably Stardew. I do like my Stardew. Every
Okay,
time I can get the chance
I
to
like
play
those
it,
farming
I
games.
do like my farming
What did they
games.
call that? Cottage core.
Yes, I
Cottage
think
core.
Cottage Core, yeah. Which, speaking about Cottage Core, I do have another one. Grim probably knows about this because I recently found it out.
Oh,
My Palalia,
Palea or
Palia,
Palia,
whatever it
Palia,
is.
whatever. Yeah.
It's basically just another farming game, but there's like no monsters like Stardew. There's no slimes, no nothing. You can literally just hunt, cook, forge stuff.
It's basically like homesteading.
Yeah, there you go. That's a
It's
good way to.
homesteading,
Yeah,
which is cool. I mean, it's cool and stuff, but
yeah.
I don't know. To me, it's like I don't have fun with games like that don't have a prime directive.
Building your whole like your dream house, your dream fantasy.
The last time I built anything, it was an empire and civilization,
Oh
and
God.
even then, I barely have the patience to play Civilization. I don't have very much patience.
Yeah.
I have a lot of patience, but not enough.
Uh, so I guess for my last game, it'll probably be Skyrim. I do like Skyrim. Um,
Okay.
yeah, that's a whole nother thing where it can. Now that I know this is gonna sound weird to the people that know Skyrim, but there's like some. If you feel like in a good mood, you can go to a happy story. If you feel in a sad mood, there's like sad stories. And I know like
I love how
that's.
you're describing this
I just
because because understand that Skyrim came out in 2011. It is officially 2024,
yeah.
and you only just recently got into playing Skyrim last
Well,
year.
because I thought so. The only games that I've played like that is Oblivion, and I really
So you have been exposed at least to the Elder Scrolls franchise
yeah
before.
yeah.
Okay.
I just didn't finish Oblivion all the way because I think I went like halfway.
Halt, criminal scum.
I gotta finish it. Hold on. Besides, it's called busy with school at the time and like other things too.
All right, fair enough.
So
You
I
were a
didn't.
good student.
I was somewhat of a good student, I will say. I say I focused on school, but I really didn't. But I passed with flying colors.
I should have, and I know it irritates my family to no end that I just did not care about school.
Yeah,
I did not care. I
it
could not.
irritates me.
Yeah. Now, do not take that as a grim condoning cutting class and not going to school. Stay in school because even though yes, I dropped out, I did drop out. It's absolutely worth it. Go to high school, finish the high school, go to your college, do whatever, because it's hard out here, man.
Yeah,
It's hard.
even with us that have high school degrees, it's hard.
Oh yeah, I have a GED at least behind me,
Yeah,
so there's that. And I got a bunch of work experience, so
yeah.
I'm Gucci.
Don't don't use that word.
I'm Gucci, kids.
Oh God.
What are the kids not saying that anymore?
Anyway,
Anyway, back up to the video
so
games.
back to the video games. So
So Skyrim,
Skyrim.
but you're
Yes,
enjoying Skyrim so far.
yes, I am.
Nice.
Yes. What about you? What's your five?
My five. So I'm lumping a lot of games into
Yeah.
you know franchises.
Mhm.
So I say the Elder Scrolls just as like the whole gambit
Mhm.
because when I was in elementary school, a friend of mine had uh, Arena and Daggerfall on a little disk drive, or not a disk drive. I'm sorry, it was a little flash drive, a little USB drive,
Okay.
and we would just play Elder Scrolls in the library.
Dude, that's dope.
It was so cool. We would try to see how far we could get. Unfortunately, we would never get very far. I didn't know that there was like a whole game in Arena past the first dungeon.
Really?
I for the longest time I did not know. I eventually did go back and I watched a bunch of playthroughs and played through it a little bit myself and got to experience at least the games up to Morrowind.
Mhm.
Um, when I finally got to Morrowind, it was kind of intimidating because that was on Xbox and it was on PC,
Mhm.
and a friend of mine had it on his Xbox, and I just remember being kind of overwhelmed by all the choices. So when Oblivion rolled around, Oblivion was such a welcome breath of like fresh air because they condensed a lot of stuff down, but you didn't lose out on like your role playing aspect. So if you wanted to play a sneaky mage who also sometimes wore heavy armor, you could do it.
Yeah.
You would have to do a lot of
But you
enchanting
can
and
also do that
you'd
in
have to go.
Skyrim too.
Oh yeah, you could do it in Skyrim and stuff. And obviously, without mods and stuff like that, doing it on vanilla it's tricky, but it's doable.
Right.
Um, but the modding community for the Elder Scrolls is also kind of what makes it so unique. Especially now, you getting into Skyrim, you're seeing the Skyrim mods. Dude, Oblivion had its own special set of mods. Morrowind had some crazy mods as well. Full on stories. These guys will make full on stories within the world of Elder Scrolls, and it's insane. Shout out to Todd Howard. You know what? Put up a picture of our God Howard. There's a picture of God Howard where Todd Howard. He's like as an angel. Put that up.
Okie dokie.
Praise him. Uh, the second franchise. Um, oh, and I guess if you had to put a gun to my head, uh, and say which Elder Scrolls specifically I would pick, I'm probably gonna pick Oblivion.
Good one.
It's a hard choice between Oblivion and Skyrim, but I had more fun with Oblivion.
See, I had more fun with Skyrim, to be honest.
That's fair. Skyrim's very, very fun. If nothing else, it's a very fun experience to play.
Yes.
It's easy to pick up, it's easy to put down, and if you go back into the world, it's not like you missed very much.
Right.
The second one on the list, though, would probably be Halo. I grew up with Halo, so I got to see Halo 1, Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, and then, of course, I experienced Halo 3, 4, 5. The only one that I haven't gotten to play through entirely is Infinite. But, I mean, no contest. If you put gun to my head, I'm picking Halo 2 all day.
Right, I can see that.
Because
Or
I have a story about Halo 2 that I don't know if I should share.
that's up to you, to be honest.
Do you think I should go for it?
Sure.
I mean, I guess so. So, buckle up for this, kiddies.
Buckling up.
So, what is the most obsessed you've ever been with a game?
Most obsessed?
Yeah, yeah. Like, I'm talking like lost sleep, forgot to eat.
Oh, okay. I see. Probably. I would probably. Definitely my Zelda. I've done that with my Zelda.
Definitely some of the Zelda games.
Yeah, my Ocarina. I've probably stayed up 3 days.
Okay, yeah. Occasionally you forget to eat.
Yeah,
and you start wondering, like, why am I dizzy?
My mom would cook dinner and be like, "Come down for dinner," and I'd be like, "Okay."
Be like, we just had dinner, and you look at the clock, and it's like a day ago. It's like, oh no.
Yeah. I also snuck snacks in my room, which my mom didn't really like, because it would bring bugs. That's why we have a rule: no food upstairs.
Yeah, we never had an issue with that because.
Well.
Then again, my family disinfected. Like we bombed the house. My dad made sure that like the house had bug spray and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
no bug would live longer than like a minute breaching the barrier that was our house.
Well, we also had fire ants.
Oh yeah.
So
fire ants and sugar ants they're tedious, man.
They'll find a way to get in.
They're treacherous little monsters.
But yeah, so the longest I probably had like 3 days at least.
Yeah. So I played Halo 2 with my dad initially, and he and I beat it. But I had learned that there were other things in the game of Halo 2. So there were different endings depending on the difficulty you played. You could get different cutscenes. Yeah, there's different cutscenes and stuff like that. But within the game, there's also like you can find skulls that give you different power ups or different. They unlock different things for the game. There's a hidden scarab gun that's a plasma rifle that shoots the scarab laser beam thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I didn't know about all that stuff. So when I did learn about it, I was like, "Oh my god, I want to sit down with Halo 2 and play it." Like I want to this was the first game I fleshed out. Um in the process of doing so, um I neglected a lot of my hygiene. uh I was showering maybe like every other day or every like 3 days.
Oh, that's
I was
gross.
brushing my teeth like maybe every other day, if that. And I had started urinating in bottles.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about that one.
So yeah, I started urinating in bottles. It started out with just basic soda bottles, and then it went up to 2 liters. But the line in the sand, because here's the thing, I'm a firm believer that you've got to draw a line somewhere, right?
Right.
And we used to always make fun of those people that played World of Warcraft, and they had what was known as the shit bucket.
Yes.
The defecation receptacle.
Yes.
uh, and at one point, I remember playing through on. I was playing through on legendary, so I was playing on the hardest difficulty.
Right.
And at one point, I was getting so frustrated because I had to go to the restroom, but I didn't want to go to the toilet. And the thought crossed my mind of I should get a shit bucket. The moment the thought crossed my mind, I saved, I quit, I grabbed my baseball glove, I grabbed a baseball mitt, and I went outside. I told my mom and dad, I said, hey guys, I'm going to be outside for a little bit. I need to be outside. They didn't question me because I think they were just happy to hear I'm going outside.
Yeah.
They didn't care at this point. They were just happy I was going outside away from Halo 2. But yeah, after that, I've not approached very many games the same way.
Really?
I can't fully absorb myself into a game because I know that if I do, that is a potential thought that's in the back of my mind. So there's a lot of games that I show a lot of restraint for.
Please don't do that.
No, no.
Please don't.
Luckily, the thought has never crossed my mind ever since, and I think part of what needed to happen was that moment for me to be like, okay, let's address this problem. And after that point, I started going outside at least, every couple days. I would try to hang out with some of my local friends,
Yeah.
my neighbors and stuff. So, but yeah,
See, I
that
just
there's
let
my
my
Halo
game.
story.
See, I just let my game go, and then I'll just go potty, go back to my game as soon as I'm done. There you go.
Yeah.
I didn't do the whole
That
bottle
a
thing.
normal person would do that. A normal functioning person would do that. Uh, but I guess moving on with the list, Fallout. I'd have to. I'm definitely putting Fallout at least in the top three there because I mean, talk about a game that summarizes everything that I love. It's got weapons, it's got robots, post-apocalypse, explosions,
Yeah.
government satire, political satire,
Yeah.
social commentaries. It's got it all. I love it. And it's got history sometimes. It's got a lot of history.
Yeah, it does have a little
So
history.
I love it. Um, but gun to my head, pick one Fallout. Fallout New Vegas all the way. Fallout New Vegas all the way.
Yeah, I like Fallout New Vegas
I
too.
liked Fallout 3. I thought Fallout 3 was fantastic. And Liam Neeson being our dad was like the coolest thing ever. It's the reverse Taken. He was the one who was taken.
Yeah.
But um yeah, Fallout for sure
Oh,
has a lot of my
sorry.
love, and that's not to diss Fallout 4 either. I like Fallout 4. I think it's fine. The graphics are fantastic. The gunplay is great. I like being able to customize all my stuff. I
Mhm.
just wish the storyline wasn't just rehashed Fallout 3.
Yeah.
So it's okay though because the mod community came to save the day.
Yeah.
um, moving on from Fallout though, I want to talk about Genshin Impact. I know we talked about it a little bit, but I really love Genshin Impact. It's so fun. I love
I do like Genshin.
I didn't realize that I grew up watching anime So when I discovered that Dragon Ball Z, um, and Speed Racer and stuff, Astro Boy and stuff like that, I didn't realize those were all anime.
Did I tell you my first anime?
No.
My first anime was Sailor Moon. I didn't realize it was an anime.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well, I knew you liked Sailor Moon, but I didn't know that was your first.
yeah. Sailor Moon was my first anime because my big sister loved Sailor Moon, and it was kind of like a sister bonding thing to do.
Yeah, yeah, I get that.
So at the time, I didn't know it was anime.
Hmm.
The only time I got into like what I thought was anime was when I'm Hetalia. My friend did Italia with me,
Yeah. And of
or
course,
introduced me to Hetalia, I should say.
yeah, and of course, all this to bring up the fact that Genshin Impact has a very unique art style in that it feels kind of like you're playing through an anime.
Yeah,
Um, the art is very well done, from not even just the in-game art, but like the concept art that they release and the comic books and stuff like that. It's all very well done, and the world of Tevat itself is very interwoven and has a really cool lore behind it and stuff like that. So
you can also pick your region, like what you like the
yeah,
most.
yeah, there's different regions that appeal to people's
Different people.
different people's tastes.
Mhm.
Like for sure, like we've talked about this before. Like I enjoyed Leeway because it's so serene and all the scenery is just so beautiful. The culture itself focused so heavily on music and food, and there's a huge emphasis on like expression and stuff that I love about Leeway.
Yeah.
But it's also the center of commerce. So, in the midst of all of this tradition and celebration, you also have a lot of very business savvy people, um, which can usually lead to some very interesting interactions and very interesting like storylines.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god, you betrayed him for that, you know?
See, right now I'm between Mondstadt and Fontaine. I can't pick which one because I like both of them.
Mondstadt is so beautiful,
Mondstadt is beautiful.
and there's so many wonderful like again, everything in the game just is so serene. Like
Yeah.
you can find a spot in at least one of the regions, and it could be a postcard, or like a screenshot for just an art piece.
Yeah.
Inazuma is another one where it's like, if you find a perfect spot with where the sun is setting across the sakura trees and stuff like that, it's so amazing.
Mhm.
So Genshin Impact for sure is just amazing. So
Amazing as it is, yeah.
for sure, at least top five for me.
Mhm.
And now I'm gonna talk about my fifth favorite
Uh oh.
because not enough people are talking about it, and I wish people would talk about it. Everyone talks about the Legend of Zelda. Okay, great. It's a legendary game, hence the name. Pac-Man. Everyone talks about Pac-Man. Everyone talks about. I've even heard of people talking about Panzer Dragoon. Okay,
That's a
Chrono Trigger. These are, and this is not me dissing on the games. They are fantastic games and they are classics in their own right.
yes.
They've earned their place. But why is no one talking about the Legend of Valkyrie?
True. Yeah.
I played I still have the disc. It's Namco Museum Volume 5. Um, and it has a bunch of the Namco games. But one game that's on there was The Legend of Valkyrie. And if you can, put up a picture of The Legend of Valkyrie. It was so cool and it was so much fun. And it was BS because I would sometimes play it with my sister. And my sister insisted on being the Valkyrie because she was the older sibling, so she gets to be first player. And I'm like, that's not fair. So I was always relegated to being the short, chubby green guy.
Well, you see, you are chubby.
Look, that's beside the point. I wanted to be the Valkyrie every once in a while. But that's a game that I wish people would talk about more.
Yeah.
Um, and I guess because this is how my brain works, now that I'm getting talking about Legend of Valkyrie, I want to talk about obscure games.
Obscure games.
Because Everyone's got. I'd imagine anyone that plays video games has like that one weird game that it's like, oh yeah, I remember that game from back in the day, but no one else talks about. So mine for sure is, of course, The Legend of Valkyrie, but I want to hear some of yours.
Well, I only got one that I know people don't talk about, at least not in my area where I work or wherever.
Like
Is
most of the people you hung out with probably
yes,
wouldn't have heard of it.
yeah,
Okay,
that's
yeah.
it's called Lunar Silver Star Story.
What?
So I'll probably show a picture of it.
Yes, please.
It's basically like a turn-based game. There was like this weird flying cat thing that followed you around. You also got
Like Cheshire?
no, it wasn't like a Cheshire. Um, I'll have to show you or put a picture
Show the cat.
for y'all.
Yeah.
But it was just a really cool game, and the one time I wanted to play it, I guess I accidentally like stepped on it or it broke. I don't know what happened to it, but it
Oh.
like shattered. You know how like when you shatter a CD back then, it
Yeah.
kind of broke into millions of pieces, but like big millions of
You have
pieces,
like two big chunks and then a bunch of like
little
little
pieces.
shards.
Yeah.
Oh
And
man.
I was so sad, and I was like, well, there goes my favorite game for the PlayStation, because I did have a PlayStation.
Never broken a CD.
It was an accident. I don't know what happened. I think I like stepped on it by accident because it was on the floor. My sister might have like took it out, put like Rayman or something in there, and it
Yeah.
was just on the floor. Which that's another game people really don't talk about. Rayman, not a whole lot.
Rayman had a brief burst in popularity during like the Wii because that's when they introduced that game, uh, Rabbits or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, Rayman had a brief stint of like resurgence. But again, why does Rayman get a brief stint of resurgence? Why not The Legend of Valkyrie?
yeah,
We got not even she didn't even get her own game. She got part of a multi-pack of games. Like that's unfair.
yeah.
Justice for The Legend of Valkyrie. But I also wanted to talk about a few other obscure games.
Go ahead.
Uh Everyone talks about party games, kind of like, Mario Party and stuff like
I
that.
do like my Mario Party.
Dude, Team Buddies.
I have not played Team Buddies.
It was so cool. So it was a game that I would play with like my sister and my cousins because it was more meant for like 4 players, up to 4 players.
Oh, so kind of like Mario Party, but you
Yeah,
can play by yourself, kind of
kind
thing.
of. Yeah. You could play by like it had a single player, like a career mode.
Mhm.
Um, to describe Team Buddies, they were these little guys that looked like either pills or Tic Tacs, and you start out in like a field or like a plains area or like a mountain area, and you have a spot that's it's like a square. There's 4 squares inside of this big square,
Mhm.
and that's your building site. Well, while you're building stuff on that, you've got to protect your castle
Mhm.
because the enemy team wants to go and destroy your castle.
Right.
Well, the whole point of putting these blocks together is to build your team and to build your weapons. So you can stack certain blocks a certain way and get an extra person, or get a grenadier. So you can get a guy that specifically has like grenades. You can get a guy that specifically has like a machine gun or something like that.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
but you could, if you played your cards right, you could stack all of the, like you could build a big cube and make a tank,
That's
and
cool.
you could roll over to your enemy's camp and go destroy their castle while your guys are protecting your castle.
That's hilarious. That's fun.
Now, this game was fun when it was all 4 of us kind of, against each other,
Mhm.
but the real fun is when you pair up. So I would play with my sister, and then my cousins would play together, and then I would be on a team with my cousin, and my sister would be on a team with our cousin, and so on and so forth. So
Mhm.
it was always so much fun. But Team Buddies was it deserved much more than it got. So, but yeah, uh, the last one that I'm gonna kind of harp on is one that I realized that it recently got remastered and they recently got re-released. Um, but I just want to say that the support for this game came too late, and it's not fair. I'm talking about Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance.
Oh yeah.
So those Dark Alliance, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 1 and 2 were recently re-released or remastered and were put on PlayStation. I don't know if Xbox has it, but I think Steam has it.
I think so.
I don't know.
I'll have to check.
Um, Correct me in post if they do. But yeah, when Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance was released, apparently people didn't like it because the Baldur's Gate fans said that it was like watered it felt like it watered down the RPG genre, and Dark Alliance people didn't like it either, for one reason or another. But there was like a sub community of us that really enjoyed it, and the only reason that I even found out about it was again because of my dad. My dad was really into that type of genre.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, heck, he introduced me to one of these games. It was a Dracula game. Uh, so he loved that like dark gothic, dark fantasy type style. Uh, so the fact that people didn't enjoy Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance is maddening to me, because if you sit down with it, you play it, just
Right.
solo is fun, but have another person there. Like have a player two. Find a player two for that game because it's so much fun two player.
Yeah, because isn't there one where there's a healer? I think that's two that
Yeah,
has the
yeah.
healer.
Part two, you can play as a cleric.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking love
that's what I'm
that.
saying. Baldur's Gate or Dark Alliance, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2 took the concept from the first game and like expanded it so much.
Mhm.
So for me, it kind of felt like a perfect place to teach someone about like the concept of Dungeons and Dragons and how RPGs work.
Right.
You know, because you can break down like, okay, here's what these attributes mean, and here's how to play this type of character, and so it gave people kind of an introduction. I felt like to Dungeons and Dragons, so
Yeah.
it did not deserve the hate that it got.
No, not at all.
So in the sake of keeping everything as interesting as possible,
Almost
I
an
want to
hour.
do something that I told you we always I try to do something surprising each time we record. Each time we do something, I want to do something different.
Mhm.
For now, I want to explore the darkness of your mind.
The darkness of my
I
mind.
want to explore the darkness of your mind. So I'm going
I
to ask you
don't.
a series of questions, and I want you to answer off the top of your head.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you ready?
I'll sure. I'll try.
What's your greatest fear?
Darkness.
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 Okay.
I don't like the dark. Um. Well, I also don't like the water. That's hard. Cause the water is just
It feels
you don't
foreign.
you don't know what's in the water. You're like, yeah,
It feels
foreign.
like
You
you're
don't.
aware that it's part of this planet, but it feels like otherworldly.
Like you don't know what's in there. Uh, I think like we know like not even half of the creatures down in the water. We at least know like a quarter of them.
It's like a stupidly low percentage
Yeah.
of like how like percentage of how much we've explored of the ocean.
Which I'll probably put like a percentage somewhere.
Yeah, like if I don't know what exactly it was, but people estimate that we've explored like not even half.
Yeah.
Not even half.
And it's just scary to me how we don't know anything about our ocean, but we've lived with it for all our lives.
Yeah, this is our planet.
Yeah. And then the darkness, I kind of always don't like the darkness because when I was little, Um, I always see things in the dark. Like, you know, when you have like a jacket over your chair or something in your room and you kind of see something.
Hmm.
I would see that, but then like I'll also get scared because it'll like move by the wind or something and it would scare me.
Like the vent will kick on and
Yeah, there
it'll
you
like
go.
move the jacket arm
Yeah,
slightly or something.
but then like you would also hear a noise in your closet,
Yeah.
and then you'd be like, was that something?
Then you realize eventually it's just the AC kicking on. It's
Mm-hmm.
just making a huge whirling noise or
Yeah,
something.
but I've always also been scared of the dark. I've also been scared alone. I don't like being alone.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Um, yeah, don't want to get in my head too much with that alone thing.
Okay. So those are your fears? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let's see. What's another good Oh, ghosts. Yes or no?
Depending on the situation, yes. Cause I'm somewhat of a believer, some of not. Watching like all these ghost videos that we've watched. Yeah, it just depends on what happens. Like your incident with the spoon. Still don't know what happened with that. If you want to talk about that, the whole spoon incident.
I could go over it pretty quickly.
Yeah,
We were sitting down watching.
something.
We were watching something. It was either YouTube or Hulu or something like that. And I just looked over. And keep in mind, we have a deep fryer. We own a deep fryer. Uh, so we had just finished deep frying. I think it was like dumplings or something like
Something
that.
like that.
Um,
Either dumplings or chicken.
we had just recently used the deep fryer. Either way, and we have this little. It's a spider. It's called a spider, but it's basically a ladle for deep fryers to help you like retrieve stuff from it. We had not even touched that thing because the thing comes with a basket. So we used the basket and we got the dumplings and stuff out with the tongs.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no reason for us to touch the spoon. So we kind of leave it to the side on the counter
Next to the deep fryer.
next to the deep fryer. So tell me, tell me why. Um, tell me why. I turned to go look at the kitchen because I'm about to prepare to get up to get a drink, and I see the spoon like somebody lifted it up and then it just dropped.
Yeah, and then we heard the little
And you could hear it
sound
drop, like
of
you,
it dropping.
yeah,
Yeah.
like you could hear it hit the counter.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so yeah, that freaked me out.
Yeah, there's that evidence. We've
But I don't know what to
also,
call that.
I don't know, but there's like some situations where it's like yes, no, just depends on the situation.
Yeah, I feel that. I understand that.
Hmm.
Do you think you have it in you to torture somebody?
No,
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 probably wouldn't have the stomach for it.
no, I couldn't.
No.
I'll leave that to you.
I guess being death does that does kind of come with my territory. I'm not the one doing it. I'm just the one that takes them afterwards.
There you
So, I mean, hey, sucks. Sucks to suck, bro.
go. Yeah.
But let's see. What's another good dark topic? I guess we can move on to this uh afterlife. Do you believe in an afterlife?
Nah, just depends. Maybe. It's a maybe. I'll
A
say
maybe?
maybe. Yeah, because I really don't know. So if we're talking about like afterlife, like heaven and hell, kind of, sorta. I mean, I grew up with being Christian and all that, so like I know about
Well, you grew up
all.
Catholic, huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
Catholic. I've done that. Um, Yeah, it just depends on. I don't know. I really don't know. That's a hard topic
Yeah.
because half of me believes, half of me doesn't. It's more of like,
Part of you wants to believe in an afterlife, but the
yeah,
other part of you is like, but I kind of want the evidence.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. I understand that. That's fair. Um, Lastly, how often do you think about death?
Not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot.
No, because I feel like, how can I put this without saying the word? That's what I feel like the topic of death.
Oh, so you when you think of the topic of death, you kind of think more in terms of like
Like,
the darker aspects of like
yeah.
and
Well, can't say that.
silver side.
There you go. Seppuku.
Seppuku. There we go. Deletion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't wait. Can you do? I don't think we can do that one anymore. I don't think anyone can do that one anymore. But self deletion. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
that's
those
what
are the.
I think of sometimes, like
So that
death
aspect of death is
wise.
kind of something that kind of shocks you, huh?
Yeah.
But we're I can feel comfortable in saying that I don't have those thoughts as often.
Yeah, I
Um,
feel that.
and I think that's an important distinction that I also want to give to everybody. I don't want to ever tell you that it's going to be better or, everything's going to magically solve itself by sticking around because let me tell you, life will kick you down a lot. But there was a quote from God of War that I actually kind of want you guys to hold on to, and it was a quote from Kratos that said, "Death can have me when it's earned me."
Yeah.
So life is gonna beat the crap out of you, but as the official spokesperson for the embodiment of death, make me wait.
There you go.
Make me wait.
There you
I have
go.
all day. I promise. I don't like the young souls. I don't like it.
There you go.
But um, I guess going from that to have you ever thought about your last meal?
My last meal. Yeah, I've actually.
So do you know what the concept of a last meal is?
Yeah, it's um the last meal you want before you die, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. So the concept of the last meal is mostly for like death row inmates. So these are inmates that are on their way to be, executed either by lethal injection or like I don't know if they still do electric chair. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I don't know if Old Sparky is still a thing, but I think it's still a thing here in Texas.
I'll check.
I think so. But yeah,
And edit it in.
fact check me there.
I'll edit it in.
Um, but I know lethal injection is a thing for sure.
Mm-hmm.
At least as of the recording of this, it's a thing. So, um, but before we get into the last meals, I want to know what what is the one thing that is like this is the crime I would probably be sent to jail for? Like what has landed you in this predicament that you now have your last meal? How would you want to be remembered, I guess, in infamy or maybe famously? I don't know.
Hmm.
And by the way, in case any law enforcement officers are listening to this, we do not condone criminal activity of any kind.
Yeah.
This is all purely hypothetical. Don't arrest me, bro. I'm not resisting.
I would probably. don't know if I could say that word. The M word.
Hmm?
Red rum. We'll say
Red
red rum.
rum?
Yeah.
Red rum?
Yes.
Ooh. Like a spree, or are we talking like, do you want to go like full Zodiac?
Probably full Zodiac.
Like start going Ted Bundy type?
Probably.
Okay, alright. Fair enough, fair enough.
Probably.
That's cool. See, I would want to do something pretty big, like start a riot. I do not condone this behavior.
I'm gonna take that out.
Or bleep it, just bleep it. Anyway, yeah, probably a riot. I'd probably like to start a riot. That'd be pretty cool. But let's talk about the last meals then. So you're on death row. The warden or whoever I guess is in charge is like, hey yo, last meal. Give us your last meal. You get breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert. Let's go.
Okay, so for breakfast, I'll probably have. Just depends on which ones they have at the time, or if they want to go out and get it. I have HEB slash Shipley donut or not donuts, kolaches.
Okay.
I do love their kolaches. Depending on which one, doesn't matter. Also, a ham and cheese omelet. So funny thing about this omelet. So this is actually a very good memory of my mom. So we would go to IHOP after high after high school, yeah, after school's ended and everything. And I would always get the ham and cheese omelet. So probably that as well.
That's cool.
And then I do like my iced coffee. Iced coffee, it's good. And then I also have pancakes with spam.
Spam.
Yeah, I do like spam.
Which I introduced this. The reason I giggle at that is because I was the one that has introduced you into the wonder of spam.
Well, at first, so funny thing about spam.
You tried it cold the first time.
I don't, I think I was in one of those cans. I think it was like one of the Vienna sausages.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was a Vienna sausage. I haven't tried spam at all. So it was a Vienna sausage. I do like
Oh.
Viennas, the ones you get.
I get the
But
Libby's Vienna sausages, which Libby's is far superior to any brand.
yeah, I don't know what brand it was or whatever.
I don't support Armor.
But one of my friends opened up a can and they're like, "Do you want to try it?" And I was like, "Sure, new food. I'm okay with that." And TMI here, but I was like, "Huh?" And I just like, "Ow." I was nasty.
Your body just rejected Vienna.
Rejected it. And I was like, "Nope, not having Viennas ever again." But when I met Graham, he was like, "You gotta try it again." And I was like, "Fine, just because I love you, I'll do it."
And I just so happen to have a can like on hand.
Yeah. And
So I shared my last can of Viennas with you.
that's a very romantic thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it. And now we have a Vienna
I cook with
meals.
Vienna sausages.
Yeah.
Because Vienna sausages go good with like rice.
Noodles.
Yeah.
Anything really.
Yeah, you pretty much fry it. You can put it with eggs.
Mashed potatoes.
Yeah, you can put them in mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Dude, Vienna sausages have a lot of uses. People just don't utilize them properly, I feel like.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, back to last meals. So my lunch doesn't really have to be any certain spicy chicken sandwich, just a spicy chicken sandwich.
Okay.
I don't care what. And then mac and cheese, some good mac and cheese. Sweet tea. I like my sweet tea. And then the school cheese sticks.
Oh, you mean like those Max sticks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The school cheese sticks. That would be cool to have for
That'd
lunch.
be pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah. So for dinner, the no peak casserole that you make.
I could probably do a video on that one day showing people that recipe, but
Mm-hmm.
um, let me know if you guys would like to see that cooking with Grim.
That would be fun.
That'd be interesting. But yeah, I make a special chicken bacon rice casserole that that December really loves and is usually a pretty big hit when I make it.
Yes. Even though I'm the only one that likes it here in the house apartment.
Well, we're the only two people in this apartment.
That's true. Besides the babies. But I
We're
digress.
the only two people in this.
I digress. Anyway, so besides the casserole, I want spicy Popeye's chicken. The chicken tenders. I love their chicken tenders. And then I want my dad's steak, the way he makes it. And then here's another fun um, story behind this one. Meat pie. My mother used to make meat pies. I don't know if y'all know what that is. It's basically just pie crust with like pork. You could do beef, any kind of like meat really, and just put it in a pie. Season up your meat, put it in a pie, and then put like the pie crust on top. Put little holes or put decorations or whatever. My mom did that for us for once in a while, which I thought was pretty cool to put on
Okay, cool.
the list. And then dessert, pecan pie, strawberry milk. I love strawberry milk. A lot more than chocolate milk.
Really?
Yes, chocolate.
You're one of the first people that I've ever heard that prefers strawberry milk.
I love strawberry milk. It's
Everyone
a
I
lot
talk to is
sweeter
chocolate milk.
and just I just like the sweetness of it.
It threw me off as a kid. It weirded me out.
You want to know something funny about strawberry milk? So,
I like it now, but
uh, I literally thought as a child that strawberry milk came from pink cows.
everybody thought that chocolate milk came from brown
Brown
cows,
cows.
and the
White
regular cows made the white milk.
milk. And then the pink cows made the pink milk.
But see, you don't ever see pink cows
Nope.
because they hide them in special facilities.
Exactly.
You see, the pink cows have to be bred a certain way,
Yes.
so they can't be out like regular cows.
Yep. There you go. That's the logic right
The
there.
more you know.
And then I would
Where's
also
where's that piano? Ding ding
ding ding ding.
The more you know. You remember that as a kid?
Yes.
That was funny.
Also candied pecans. I do like my candied pecans.
All right.
Mint chocolate chip ice cream. And then my last one that I have down.
You're a mint chocolate chipper.
Yes, I am.
That's fair. I like it.
I like my mint chocolate chip.
I like mint chocolate chip. It's okay.
And then lastly, my macaroons. Macarons.
Now, okay, this is a thing that I've seen, and I are there's two different types of macaroon, right? I'm not crazy in this.
What do you mean?
Because I've seen two, and put up a picture if you can, if you find this later. But I've seen the one type of macaroon, which is like the sandwich cookie looking thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're the fancy ones everyone knows from like French stuff. But there's another type I thought, which is like shaved coconut. It's like a shaved coconut cookie or something like that. I'll have to find a picture of it or something like that, or put up a picture of both of the cookies because I'm not crazy. I feel like they were both called macaroons or macarons or something at some point.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, what's your last meals?
My last meals? So I'm a terrible person, so my firm belief is if you're gonna kill me, I'm gonna make you feed me like a king. So I'm eating like a king. So for breakfast, I'm going hard and heavy, bro. I'm going bacon cheeseburger with a fried egg on top.
Ooh.
So yeah, I love Anyone that knows me knows I could eat a burger basically for any time of the day.
Yeah, you can eat it breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Now, when I say burger, I have to specify cheeseburger because apparently there are people that eat burgers without cheese,
Yeah.
and that's disgusting to me. How dare you? A burger is only complete with cheese. It is blasphemous to eat it without cheese, in my opinion. So yeah, that and my family makes a type of Mexican breakfast tacos. The way that it's prepared is you use the bacon grease to then cook your beans, then you mash the beans up to
Mhm.
make like refried beans.
Yeah.
Then you scramble your eggs into the beans, and it makes like this really cool mixture,
Mhm.
uh, which goes fantastic on tortillas. And then you put the bacon strip on it, put your tomatoes, hot sauce, whatever, cheese. It's so good. Um, maybe I'll make that for a show too as well.
That'd be cool.
There we go. Turn that into something. Uh, and then of course, I want my Reese's Puffs, but I like Reese's Puffs with slices of banana because it's like peanut butter banana,
Mhm.
and I love peanut butter banana sandwiches. So Elvis and I can agree on that. um, and then lastly for breakfast, just a small bowl of sweet cream of wheat with some cinnamon raisin toast. Growing up, it was a comfort food for me. During the winter, my mom would make it, and it just made me feel so warm and cozy. So there's that for breakfast. For lunch, I'm going hard. So I'm talking Popeye's spicy chicken tenders.
Mhm.
Give me those red beans and rice, and I want their mac and cheese.
Oh
So
yeah.
I found it funny that you had mac and cheese specifically because mac and cheese is such a lunch food. I feel like if you're having mac and cheese for dinner, I feel like it's kind of sad in a way.
Yeah.
Like if it's just mac and cheese for dinner, yeah,
Mm.
reevaluate some things. Throw some
Definitely.
meat in there.
I was gonna, yeah, throw
Throw some meat
some
in there.
Viennas or spam or something.
At least put some shredded chicken in that thing.
The chicken. Yeah.
Dude, a shredded rotisserie chicken
Oh.
shredded up inside of mac and cheese with some buffalo sauce. Let me tell you about
Okay, don't make me hungry now. Keep
it.
going.
So, yeah, so the Popeyes, and then of course I want some mini corn dogs.
Of
I
course.
love mini corn dogs.
I know you do.
And dip them in some spicy ketchup. I love it. Pork pot stickers.
Oh,
I
your
want some pork
uh
dumplings.
oh yeah.
Dude, pork dumplings are and fried. They have to be fried. A lot of people like them steamed, and that's fine. Steamed dumplings are great. They're fantastic. But a fried dumpling is just it hits the spot every time. So next we're gonna talk. I'm gonna go into jalapeno cheese kolaches. So specifically, I want HEB makes a brand of their own kolaches, and they're frozen. And if you bake them just right, they're so delicious.
Hmm.
And the sausage has a good snap to
That's
it.
why I said sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. That's
No,
why
you're
I
okay.
said have like HEB or like Shipley's depending on if they want to go out and go to Shipley's and get me the kolaches or HEB get me the kolaches. Just depends on what they
Well,
want to do because I'm okay with
ironically,
or.
ironically, the best kolache that I've ever had actually came from a gas station up in Colorado, and it was just a Valero gas station that had like a little bakery or something in it, and
Hmm.
my dad would stop by there when he would drop me off at high school.
Yeah,
Yeah, on the way there, he would sometimes go into the gas station and he'd be like, "Hey, you want a kolache and a soda?" So I'd get a sausage, jalapeno sausage and cheese kolache, and I'd get a Mountain Dew.
that's cool.
Yeah, my dad was cool about that sometimes. And then of course I'm gonna end this with end lunch with Jack in the Box tacos.
Oh,
Dude, we call them drunk tacos. They are the perfect thing for when you are elevated. They are perfect for when you are drunk. They are also perfect for when you're hungover.
yeah.
There's always a perfect time for Jack in the Box tacos. If I'm not sponsored by Jack in the Box tacos, I should be because I love everything on their menu. So there's that. Um, Dinner. Now I've got a little mix of classy and trashy here
Okay.
for dinner. So I want a New York strip steak cooked medium rare,
Okay. Yeah.
prime. And anyone that wants to come after me for medium rare, go chew on your rubber. Go chew on your keep chewing your rubber. Keep chewing your tire. I'm just kidding. You cook your food how you wanna. You can put A1 steak sauce on your steak. I don't care.
My dad
I
used to do that
A1 steak sauce is fine.
back.
It's okay.
Back when we were in Tennessee, I think he would like
It's
put
not the worst thing.
thing or put it on, but now he doesn't.
I mean, like if I have like a low end cut of meat, you know, a poor man's steak, then yeah, I'll probably put some A1 steak sauce on it because I mean it's not gonna hurt it.
No, it's just gonna add more
Just
flavor.
it's something to take away from a bad steak.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So yeah, New York strip cooked medium rare specifically. Now I want a combination of tater tots and crinkle fries. I I like chips. I think chips are fine, but give me some French fries and tater tots all day, any day. It's
Yeah.
the superior way to eat potatoes, aside from a fully loaded baked potato.
Mhm.
But there's just something nostalgic for me about tots and crinkle fries. It makes me feel cozy.
Right.
Now, moving on from that, I want my chili cheese dogs.
Sounds about right.
Chili cheese dogs. Oh, chili cheese dogs. My mom and I used to get the foot long chili cheese conies from Sonic. They used to be really good. I haven't had one lately because the last time I had one, it just looked bad. It looked sad.
Yeah.
Like
I think I remember that one.
they just don't. It doesn't seem like they care very much anymore. So I mean, hey, if Sonic wants to prove me wrong by offering me unlimited chili cheese dogs, I'm here. I exist.
No.
Now, next, I have a very specific Chinese order. I'm going when I say I'm putting these guys to work, babe, I'm putting these guys to work. General Tso's chicken, combination lo mein, and egg rolls.
Nice.
Bam. And guess what? The miracle of having Chinese food is immediately after eating Chinese food, you're still hungry. So I'm going to follow this up with some shin ramen, and I'm going to throw some spam, egg, and cheese in that ramen.
That sounds good.
Top order.
Yeah. That kind of beats mine.
Now, for dessert, I'm going to bring it down. I love banana pudding.
Yeah.
Banana pudding's my favorite dessert, so I'm definitely putting banana pudding up there. I'm putting cookies and cream ice cream. You're putting Oreos inside of ice cream. You're putting something amazing inside of something else that is amazing. That just means it's even more amazing.
Yeah.
So, cookies and cream ice cream. The next one is I've heard people call it Watergate salad, but in my family, we always called it congeal.
Oh,
And
yeah.
what it is you
Oh.
take pistachio flavored like pudding
Mhm.
and you put a can of crushed pineapples, the multicolored fruity marshmallows. You can throw in some nuts and stuff like that, but you mostly just throw in the pineapples, the nuts. Occasionally, you can throw in some maraschino cherries and stuff like that. But I'd have to get the whole recipe for it and make it on stream. That's another one I'll do. I'll make it. I'll make that one.
There you go.
No baking required for that.
Yeah, it's just basically
It's a
mixing.
cold dish. It's a cold dessert.
It's just mixing.
Yeah, it's delicious too. I love it so much.
I know.
Oh yeah,
I do too.
and we only get it every like twice every year, pretty much. because
Yeah.
it's a my family only ever busts it out for Thanksgiving and Christmas, if that.
Yeah.
So most of the time you can count on it during Thanksgiving. Christmas is a hit and miss on that one. Uh, Next, I'm going with something simple. My strawberry wafers.
Well, of course.
I love strawberry wafers. Strawberry wafers are delicious. I can eat a whole pack in one sitting. She's seen me do it.
Yes. It's weird how he
It's
just eats it in one sitting.
I will inhale strawberry wafers
I'll
by the
have to
brick.
stop him and be like,
She'll
"There."
track my eating of the wafers, and she'll somehow get it right as I'm like halfway through the pack, and she'll be like, "You need to stop."
Yep. I'm like, "Babe, you need to stop." And he goes, "Why?"
Because it's my wafers.
What?
They're delicious.
You can't have all of them.
But finally, and I haven't gotten to let you try this dessert yet, but I'm gonna let you try it. Tres leches. So there's a dessert called tres leches, which is a cake that consists of three milks. It's like condensed
I've
milk.
tried tres leches.
Tres leches.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, wait, you have?
Yes, that was my mom's favorite dessert. My dad bought it for us to try it. It was good. I do like it.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know you had tried tres leches. That's
Yeah.
cool.
I think it was like 2, 3, maybe 5 years ago that we've done that.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I think. Don't quote me on that. I don't know.
That's strange.
But I know I've tried it before.
I authentically did not know that. That's funny.
The more you know.
Yeah, there you go. Put no. And I want to also include a box of Shipley's donuts. Just the plain glazed donuts. I don't need nothing fancy. Everybody likes to get fancy with like the chocolate donuts or the frosted this and the no.
Maple donuts.
Okay, maple donuts are good, but just nothing beats just a plain classic glazed donut.
That's true.
It's just a plain glazed donut. It's just sugar glazed, and it's so simple. But Shipley's does it in a certain way that I just love so much.
Mm-hmm.
They're fluffy, and when you get them warm, they're so soft, and oh, little pillows of heaven. That's what they are.
Yeah.
And now that I think about it, because you included drinks.
Yes, I did.
So now that I think about it, I kind of want to have drinks.
I included drinks with all of mine.
So I kind of just want to have these all in just like a block. So for sure, I want to start off the day with a Mountain Dew because you have to do the dew. I of course want a Pepsi
for lunch.
These are gonna no these are gonna be drinks that are gonna be brought to me throughout these meals.
Oh, okay.
Oh no! When I say I'm putting these guys to work, I'm putting these guys to work.
See, at least I'm going down simple.
No, I'm gonna kick and scream the way down.
I'm going down simple. Just bring me all that, and I'll be a happy bean.
No, I must be difficult. Now I'm going to then do a drink that my family has coined as the Angry Balls. The Angry Balls is a bottle of Angry Orchard and then 3 shots of Fireball inside of a drink. I'm going to pound that down, and then the last drink of my life will be Tullamore Dew.
There you go. I like that one.
A nice glass of whiskey to end off my life.
There you go.
That's the end of it.
Cool. Do you wanna end us off?
Yeah. So I guess that's the end of 40 minutes of nonsense. I know we rambled on for a lot longer than 40 minutes, and I guess to kind of explain the concept of 40 minutes here briefly. This is a podcast that we want to do, semi-regularly. The idea of 40 minutes of nonsense kind of stems from if you have a conversation that lasts an hour or 2 hours, at least 40 minutes of that is gonna be just utter nonsense. Especially I feel like if you're having a real good conversation.
Yeah.
it just devolves into into madness sometimes. You can get lost in the plot. So I enjoy that,
Yeah.
and um, we hope to do a whole lot more of these. We definitely plan on bringing in different guests. I have a few people already lined up as we speak. Some interesting minds that we're going to kind of pry into. So,
You didn't tell me this.
well, everyone's it's all up in the air right now. It's all
Oh,
up in the air.
okay.
So nothing's set in stone yet, but eventually I do want to bring on some folks. And if you guys have any suggestions about future topics or anything you just want to know about us, or even if you just want to talk about yourselves inside of the comments, please. We like to see interaction. We want to see interaction. So
Yeah.
thank thank you guys for stopping by. Love yourself. Be kind to yourself. And if no one's told you today, you're doing great. Keep moving forward. Take care. Goodbye.